Wake up Wenatchee Valley, Thursday, March 14th. Take one. Oh, this is a live show. I forgot. Hey, everybody. It is Thursday. I am Dan Kuntz. Welcome to the program. 52 degrees. What a difference 24 hours makes. When we were together yesterday at this time, it was blowing to beat the band. It was raining. There was a fire on the south end of town that our camera that's on behind me right now caught. It was a crazy morning yesterday. Things are a lot calmer now, but we're not out of the wind wagon quite yet. It's going to be still breezy to windy right on through the weekend, really, right on into Saturday. Much cooler temperatures, too, this weekend. That upper level low is gone. It's in Montana now. It was moving pretty quick, but it's still very unstable in the atmosphere. So no real rain, but certainly cooler than normal temperatures, both for the afternoon high and the overnight low. And wind. We'll have wind really off and on. Between breezy and windy off and on, right on through the weekend. Forecast details will lead off, if you pardon the baseball analogy. News second, and then on into sports. Mariners lost another game they should have won. Went to 10 innings, but the Astros got the better of them. Highlights of that. Busy prep schedule today for the bigger schools in our area. Wenatchee, Eastmont, and Moses Lake will have that in sports. And it's a big sports weekend for you bicycle enthusiasts. It begins today, the Tour de Bloom, which was struggling. Ace Bollinger will tell you all about it, but the Tour de Bloom was having a hard time really getting its footing going. And then they made it an apple blossom event, and everything changed, and now it's a huge event. It's gotten so big that it's no longer on Apple Blossom weekend, so people can enjoy it without having to worry about all kinds of other entertainment distractions. The Tour de Bloom begins today, and the event that everybody loves is the Downtown Criterion. That's all day on Saturday. Ace Bollinger, the race director of Tour de Bloom, will be my guest in the back half of the program. Let's take our tour, shall we? Around the valley. There is the Wenatchee Valley. Yeah, it's a lot different than it was yesterday at this time. By the way, we got 0.31 inches of rain, almost a third of an inch of rain, and we needed it badly. That was the nice thing. Of course, it was also quite windy. Our strongest wind gust was 40 miles an hour. That was just about 7 a.m. yesterday morning. That's one of the reasons that those two abandoned houses on the south end of town took a long time for the firefighters to get a beat on that. Up to the Stein Hill camera, there is Olalla Canyon, the Peshastin Pinnacles, and a beautiful view there. I haven't been up Olalla in a long time. I know a lot of people go up there to look at the wildflowers, and then they block the road. The county is pretty good at reminding people, you can't do that. Don't do that. Up to Billy Goat we go. Hello, Billy Goat. Few high clouds up there. Otherwise, pretty benign. That's probably my favorite camera, simply because you can see so much real estate. It helps when you have a camera that's like 7,300 feet above sea level. That will get the job done. And Rood Canyon, also one of our higher cameras, so we have a beautiful view up there. Looks pretty clear up on the plateau. Gorgeous view up there. And the people who live in Rood Canyon are not rude. They're very nice indeed. They're good folks, hardy folks who live up Rood Canyon way. No real slide to show for you, so let's jump right into it. From our friends at Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, it's where comfort, care, and community come together. Sunshine and a little breezy today, not windy. Just a little breezy today. Northwest wind about 7 to 10 miles an hour, maybe an occasional gust about 20. So it's just a little breezy. It'll be sunny for most of the day today, very late in the day, right around sunset, right around 8:30 or so, the clouds will be coming in. It'll be cloudy in the early evening hours, and then it'll be mostly clear by the time you get up on Friday morning, because the wind is going to pick up in the overnight hours, and that's going to take whatever clouds come in and scour them right on out of here. Partly sunny on Friday, quite breezy at times. We could see gusts about 20 miles an hour on Friday, and look how cool, 63. The big story on Saturday is going to be the wind. It's going to be the windiest day in the forecast period after yesterday, which really isn't a forecast. It's going to be sunny all day on Saturday, but it's going to be very chilly, 61 for the overnight low. Overnight lows, by the way, Saturday night and Sunday night in some locations are going to be down into the 30s. Heads up on there for plants and orchardists. And then we gradually warm up. High pressure will be reestablishing itself on Sunday. No wind on Sunday. Sunday looks beautiful. Sunshine and a high of 68. Keep in mind our normal high temperature now is about 71, so it is going to be a little on the cool side, especially on Friday and Saturday, but most of next week looks mighty fine indeed. We have quite a bit of news to get to. It was a busy day in the newsroom yesterday, and we'll explain that to you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
A new video game, a movie, dinner with friends. There are a lot of things worth saving up for. Vapes aren't cheap, and buying pods over and over can stop you from affording things you want more. When it comes to your money, choose what matters. Choose you.
When life gets stressful, jumping into your passions can help you find your calm. Avoid vapes, which contain nicotine and can make feelings of anxiety and depression worse. When it comes to your mental health, choose what matters. Choose you.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Looks a little cloudy up Lake Wenatchee way. There's a few clouds floating around here. 52 degrees, sunshine, but breezy today. In fact, it's going to be borderline breezy to windy, really, right down through till Saturday. It'll finally calm down on Saturday night, and temperatures, both highs and lows, will be below normal for the next few days anyway. Two unoccupied Wenatchee homes caught fire Wednesday morning, and this is after apparently a tree caught on fire behind the structures and spread it to the buildings themselves. The Wenatchee Valley Fire Department responded to a call of a home on fire. This was shortly before 7 a.m. yesterday morning in the 900 block of South Mission. When crews arrived, they discovered flames had spread to a second unoccupied home next to the original structure. Both homes boarded up, believed to have been unoccupied for quite some time. Firefighters searched the structures, found nobody inside. Chief Brian Brett says one of the homes had 9 layers of roofing, and that made the fire difficult to extinguish. The cause remains under investigation, but officials believe the fire may have started near a burning tree behind the homes. Victims of the December flooding and windstorms in Chelan County have begun making use of federal low-interest loans. The U.S. Small Business Administration is operating a temporary office in Leavenworth to help people suffering business or property losses from the storms that, of course, drenched homes, toppled trees, and tied up traffic when Highway 2 west of Leavenworth collapsed. Todd Brobman is the spokesperson for the SBA, and he says so far 28 applicants from Chelan County have filed for loan assistance under the federal emergency declaration that was signed by President Trump. A total of $1.4 million in loan funding has so far been approved. Businesses in Douglas County that suffered economically because of the storms, you can also apply for loan aid. The SBA has set a deadline of June 10th for claims involving physical property damage. For economic injury, the claim deadline is January 7th of next year. The City of East Wenatchee and its police department are highlighting funding milestones that will allow the agency to hire 3 new entry-level police officers. The East Wenatchee Police Department received approval for the sales and use tax authorization earlier in the month, and the agency says that will provide sustainable funding for public safety needs. Additionally, the department was awarded over $1.1 million through the state's safety funding program. The combined funding sources will help the agency bring in more officers, and the agency was awarded a grant of over $5,600 from the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs to equip patrol cars with AED units to help survival outcomes during cardiac emergencies. The The 15th annual Touch a Truck fundraiser back this weekend. It'll benefit local children. While at the event, kids and adults can learn about and touch dozens of vehicles, fire trucks, police cars, even helicopters. Last year, over 1,600 people were in attendance and over $9,400 was raised for local nonprofits to help kids in the community. It's going to be held, as it has been for the last few years, at Wenatchee Valley College. $5 for an adult, $3 per kid. Children under the age of 2, no charge at all. Visitors can get $1 off their total entry fee. If you bring a non-perishable food item, the festivities begin Saturday at 10 a.m. If you're looking to safely dispose of sensitive personal documents, well, you got the opportunity to do so tomorrow at the East Wenatchee Financial Center of Washington Trust Bank. The bank will host a free Community Shred Day. It's 9 a.m. to noon tomorrow at their offices on Valley Mall Parkway. Residents can safely dispose of sensitive documents to help protect against identity theft. Items accepted included, well, old bank statements, bills, canceled checks, junk mail, tax documents that are older than 3 years. Bank officials say properly shredding personal documents is one of the simplest ways to prevent fraud and identity theft. And as race director Ace Bollinger told me, today begins the multi-day bicycle race that he says it's like NASCAR on 2 wheels. Tour de Bloom is back. It'll take cyclists all over the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington. I sat down with Ace earlier in the week. Our complete conversation, by the way, will air in the back half of this program. Here's a little about what Ace told me, what you can expect from today, the first day of racing.
5 big fat days for the professionals. For the amateurs, you don't have to work that hard. It starts Thursday and it runs all the way through Monday. And if you want to see the best of the best bicyclists, first of all, the elites will be downtown on the Downtown Criterion, but they have a full slate of races starting on Thursday. For the elite bicyclists who are coming in from all over the country for the Tour de Bloom over the 5-day period, Thursday through Monday. Walk us through starting on Thursday and take us through Monday for the elites of the elites.
Gotcha. So Thursday is our Mission Ridge Hill Climb. So all riders, both elites and novice riders, amateurs, will be starting at Squilchuck State Park and climbing up to Mission Ridge. So that's about 4.25 miles, 1,800 feet of pure fun, pure climbing bliss. My estimations is the fastest rider will probably make that climb in about 18, 19 minutes. So that is, they'll be seeing their heart rates bounce off at 200, going around Graffiti Rock up there and everything else like that. So it's a great start. It's a quick, compact race, and really sets up the leadership and who's the top dog, who's going to be wearing our Tour de Bloom pink jersey going into Friday up at Waterville.
Second question, as far as spectator friendly, obviously the Downtown Criterion all day Saturday is by far the best. Lots of parking all over the place, beer gardens, the
La Terraza
will be right next door,
yep.
So you got food there. But if you want to see some of these elite riders, but not in the Downtown Criterion, as a spectator standpoint, where would you send them to?
Thursday, I think Graffiti Rock is a great place because you can up there at Mission Ridge, you can watch them, or up at the deck at Mission Ridge and watch them come across the finish. Waterville, once again, the finish line is going to be outstanding there, or because you can watch them come into town and take that big sweeper on Highway 2 and then walk down and watch the finish because it's a sprint finish. The crit goes without saying. Anywhere on the crit course is going to be outstanding. The corner 4 down there by the beer garden with the cobbles, we have had some riders lay it down there. We've had some mishaps at corner 1. So, kind of pick your poison on that. At the plane stage, anywhere along, I would say the finish at plane would be fantastic. Time trial, boy, I mean, you really got to be hard up to come and watch that thing. But, if you do come up to Mansfield, the Mansfield Tavern is where we're having the award ceremony afterwards. Yeah, if you come up and watch it, I'll buy you a beer afterwards at Mansfield Tavern. And then, and honestly, Tuesday out there at the Ed Farah, up there at the little white church and watching them come over the top is fun. Graffiti Rock would be great. Or once again, Mission Ridge is opening up. They're going to have a full menu on Tuesday and sitting at that deck, and we're going to have the finish shoot right down there. You'll be able to watch them come in. The last 200 meters is on gravel. It's just outstanding, especially the views up there.
If you go to the website, Tour de Bloom, it's easy to find. Type it in your search bar and it pops right up. The maps, the courses, the schedule. It's all there, very easily done.
And again, our complete conversation will air in the back half of the program. You don't want to miss that. And that is the news on this Thursday. The news will be gathered and written and disseminated and figured out what it is. And then out it comes. We give birth to the news at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. Well, 5 o'clock. The 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock are reruns of the 5 o'clock show. We don't have triplets around here. But no, you can get caught up on what's going on around here. If you are unplugged, YouTube is the place to go. It'll be posted there right around 5 o'clock. We'll put a link in our Facebook page. We're on Apple TV Plus. We're on Roku. We're on the Amazon Fire HDMI sticky thingy back of television technology stuff that, quite frankly, scares me. And so do emails, but I have to deal with them every day anyway. Send us an email if you have a news tip, news@ncwlife.com. Mariners lost a game they should have won. It's been a theme so far this year. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
A kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Sports at 18 minutes after the hour. J.P. Crawford hit a solo home run. Luke Raley hit a solo home run for the Mariners, but wasn't enough. Zach Cole's RBI base hit in the bottom of the 10th inning was the difference. The Astros beat the Mariners 4-3 yesterday in Houston. Bryce Miller is back. He allowed just 2 runs and 8 hits over 5 1/3 innings in his season debut.
Part of the kind of progression for Donovan to get back into everyday action. So JP is leading things off with a moonshot to right field. That is all the way up top. A second deck smash from J.P. Crawford.
JP has done such a great job when he has been put in that leadoff spot, both getting on base, coming up with some big hits. And this is a huge one to get the Mariners offense going here so quickly here tonight.
McCullers has handled the bottom of the order fairly well. Raley 1 for 2 with a single. By the opposite way, does this have enough to carry out? Yes, it does! Luke Raley, opposite field, home run. 2-0 Mariners.
Wow, what a road trip he has had. He had a huge game in the first game against the Chicago White Sox. Luke coming up big right here.
Christian Walker will lead things off against Bryce Miller. Walker 0 for 2, a fielder's choice and a fly out to left. That ball hit pretty well to right field, sending Raley back to the wall. He'll reach up. It's in the first row. Home run, Christian Walker. Astros on the board with Walker's 10th home run of the year. RBI 29 ties it for the team lead. into center. Pretty deep. Bryce Matthews with great speed at third. Julio has no shot to throw him out. Altuve puts the Astros in the lead for the first time in the series. It's 3-2. That is RBI number 900 in Altuve's career.
A couple of big at-bats. The previous at-bat with the bases loaded, he was able to work the walk to drive in that first RBI.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Ground ball, Crawford has it, comes home, throw to Cal. He slips and falls on the plate as he cocked his arm to throw. They get the out at home. Hopefully Cal's all right. And he nods his head up and down. That's a good sign.
As he gets it, that back foot slides back out from under him.
Astros need a run to win it. In walk-off fashion, the Mariners scored a run to tie it with 2 outs in the ninth on a bases-loaded walk. Sharply hit, game winner. Zach Cole wins it 4-3. Astros snapped their 4-game losing streak and also snapped the 9 straight games the Mariners have beaten them. What a big night for Zach Cole and the Astros.
The 4-game series wraps up. It's a morning game, 11:10. First pitch in Houston. Louis Castillo still has not won a game this year. He'll try and get off the schneid. This weekend, the Mariners will be back home for a weekend series against the Padres. The American West scoreboard looks something like this. There's the Mariners losing in extras. Angels lost to the Guardians, the winners in the division. The Rangers over the Diamondbacks and the Athletics over the Cardinals. All right, here we go. The District 5 4A soccer tournament is fully underway tonight down in Yakima. It's the Panthers and the Davis Pirates for the district championship, 6 o'clock tonight. The winner goes to state, but the loser just still has a chance. At the exact same time in East Wenatchee, Sunnyside will be taking on Eastmont Eastmont's pitch at 6 o'clock. The loser of the Wenatchee-Davis championship game will play the winner of the Sunnyside-Eastmont game on Saturday for one last chance to get to state. The District 5 4A softball tournament, same scenario. Championship game is tonight. Wildcats will be in Yakima to take on West Valley at 5 o'clock. At the same time in Moses Lake, it's the Panthers and the Mavericks at 5 o'clock in a loser-out game. The winner of Eastmont West Valley wins the district championship, goes to state, and the loser of Eastmont and West Valley will take on the winner of Wenatchee and Moses Lake for one last chance to state again on Saturday. The District 5 and 6 combined 1A softball tournament. Cashmere season came to an end. They lost to Chelan in the first round, 5-3, and then Royal shut out Chelan in the next round. About 2 hours later, 10-0. But Chelan still has a chance to state. They'll take on Medical Lake on Saturday. If they win, they go to state. If they lose, they're done for the year. And at the District 5 2B softball tournament in Ephrata, the gateway to Soap Lake. Here's the schedule for today. Brewster and Cle Elum at 4 o'clock, Tenasket and Tri-Cities Prep and Liberty Bell and Warden all at 4 o'clock. All of those games in Ephrata. And those were just some of the games that people were playing. Now, today's obscure holiday was actually yesterday, but today, when I went through the obscure holidays, nothing really tickled my fancy. So I'm going to do yesterday's, one that I could have done yesterday and didn't. Today, we celebrate the hardworking folks who work what used to be called the graveyard shift, the third shift, if you will, because there are some businesses and services that simply do not close. They don't close at all, and you got to have somebody working them. Hours that most of us are asleep. Healthcare, law enforcement, security, nursing homes, prisons, transportation, planes fly at night too. Warehouse workers, Costco never closes. Emergency hotlines, customer service centers, and then there's people like me and bakeries and delivery drivers who work pretty odd hours. Anyway, people ask me, what time do you get up in the morning on a weekday to do the show? And I get up at 2:45 in the morning, and they go, that's insane. And I remind people that there are certain things on a morning show that's live that you can't do the day before, like most of it. So it gives us that chance. So people who work odd hours, today is for you. Today's your day. And I have great respect for you. 25 minutes after the hour, today in history, Louis XIV got the gig. Louis XIII, his dad, died. And on this date in 1643, after the death of his father, Louis XIV becomes the King of France. And he would serve as the King of France for 72 years and 110 days. That is by far the longest reign of any sovereign in history. He was the king for 72 years and 111 days. And how did he pull off this remarkable feat? Well, first of all, in order to be the king, all you have to do is be born. That's it. No other talent, no other virtue other than just being born into the right family. When he got the job as king on this date in 1643, he was 4 years old. So that's how you get that job for 72 years. 226 years ago today, there's no real visual way to show this, but they started the move. They rented the U-Haul trucks, they backed them up to the doors in Philadelphia, and they began the process of moving. The United States federal government did. They began the process of moving the capital from Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. on this date in 1800. It took a while, too, as you might imagine. There they go, 222 years ago today. Now, the actual site where Lewis and Clark departed with the Corps of Discovery to figure out what the heck it was that Tom bought is now underwater. So that's the plaque. The actual fort, the camp, is under about 25 feet of water now, so you can't really go check it out. But there they go. Lewis and Clark began their historic journey on this date in 1804. Congress appropriated $2,324 for the trip. It actually cost about $10,000. And remarkably enough, considering all the dangers that they encountered on their long journey there and their long journey back, only one person died. Sergeant Charles Floyd, who's one of the first people to sign up, and he died of acute appendicitis back in those days. In the early 1800s, if your appendix got inflamed and burst, you died. He was the only death on the entire Corps of Discovery. A remarkable achievement there. Happy 78th birthday to Israel. Israel declared to be an independent state, and a provisional government is set up on May 14th, 1948. The very next day, the war began. Yep, the very next day, Israel is attacked by Egypt and all the other Arab states surrounding it, and then we had a war, which, if you think about it, really hasn't stopped for the last 78 years. And Johnny Carson picked the wrong day to take the day off. On this date in 1968, John and Paul spent 4 days in New York to promote their new Apple label, the new record label, and Apple Core. And they did a press junket in New York City for 4 days, and they ended their press junket by going on The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson, only Johnny took the day off. I don't know what Johnny was thinking. John and Paul appeared together on The Tonight Show for the only time any of the Beatles appeared on The Tonight Show while the Beatles were still there. Joe Garagiola and Tallulah Bankhead interviewed John and Paul. Paul later admitted he remembered very little of it because Paul admitted later on that 4 days in New York City with John, he was pretty stoned most of the time. Birthdays. Heavenly birthday. Walden Roberto Casotto Darren, Bobby Darin, the great Bobby Darin, had rheumatism as a child, so he had a weak heart. That's why he died at the age of 37. But we got the music: Splish Splash, Dream Lover, Mac the Knife, Beyond the Sea, If I Were a Carpenter. He got an Academy Award nominee for Best Supporting Actor, and he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the great Bobby Darin, born in this date in New York City in 1936. George Lucas, he's done pretty good for himself. Star Wars, Indiana Jones. He, of course, wrote and directed American Graffiti, and after he sold his company, Lucasfilm, to Disney in 2012, he is currently the second largest single shareholder of the Walt Disney Corporation. Only the estate of Steve Jobs has more stake. George Lucas is 82 years old today. David Byrne is burning down the house, baby. David Byrne from Talking Heads. I love his music and his solo stuff, too. Very underrated. David Byrne, happy 74th to you. Mark Zuckerberg, when he was 23 years old in 2007, he became, and remains to this day, the world's youngest self-made billionaire. He didn't inherit a dime, and now he's got $220 billion. He's 42 years old today. And happy 37th to the Gronk. 3 times a Super Bowl winner, 4 times first-team All-Pro. He's an interesting guy. Rob Gronkowski is 37 years old today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor, and if you're going to have a platinum sponsor, you might as well have a business with the reputation of Alpine Air. Thank you very much. Got an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Mignotti right around the corner, and then Ace Bollinger and I had a great conversation. The Tour de Bloom is back. It's going to take over downtown Wenatchee and all over north central Washington. Everything you need to know about the Tour de Bloom with my good buddy Ace. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in north central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, the Epstein files. You know, it's pretty clear our current administration is doing everything possible it can to prevent the release of those files or to provide and create any diversion to distract our attention. You know, so what? You know, first of all, it's pretty clear that regardless of what is exposed about Trump or anybody in those files, Trump's sycophants are going to make up some excuse or justification, and they won't care what is said about him if he's in those files. And secondly, what Trump has already said and done about himself and what has been proven about him establishes that man as a sexual predator. Now, although I, like you, want the Epstein files released, it won't make a bit of difference. His followers have already proven that even if there is unchallengeable proof that Trump is a child sex offender, his followers will not care. Shaking my head. This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and that's my opinion.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Your piece of land demands the very best equipment. Kubota equipment. The #1 selling compact tractor in the U.S. With professional-grade mowers, versatile sidekick utility vehicles, and compact tractors that get it done right. All backed by unmatched dealer support. Talk to your dealer today to schedule a demo.
Welcome back to the program. No lack of things to do this weekend. No lack of things to do in downtown Wenatchee, for that matter. But it is back. It's bigger and better than ever. It's not on Apple Blossom weekend for the first time since it was brought here. I'm talking about Tour de Bloom. The organizer, Ace Bollinger, to my immediate left, a very busy guy. Ace, first of all, it's good to see you again. Second of all, the first thing I asked you when we sat down is, I noticed it wasn't on Apple Blossom. And it's kind of a good reason. It's a very good reason why it's not on Apple Blossom anymore. You got big.
Well, exactly. You know, 2012, our race was kind of floundering, and we were jumping around from weekend to weekend. And we decided, you know, what could really revitalize our race is get it on one certain weekend and incorporate it with something else. And we reached out to Darcy at the Apple Blossom Festival and said, hey, what are the chances we could run our race after the parade? And Darcy's like, I think that'd be great. Let's do that. And a marriage was born between us and Apple Blossom, and really our numbers every year after that grew exponentially. The reason our race is as successful as it is today is because of Apple Blossom and Darcy taking a chance and letting us have that race on there. But like all things with good success, we outgrew that weekend. We were last year in 2025, I left my house at 5:30 in the morning, and I got back at 1 o'clock in the on Saturday morning. And my wife's like, "How many miles did you walk today?" I looked at the phone. I'd walked 16 miles that day. And so, you know, we have about 50 volunteers that put on our race with us. And so I'm asking the volunteers to do that, and we were running people ragged. We were running late into the night. It was getting cold.
There's only so many hotel rooms available and restaurants. They need to take a couple of breaks. So.
Yeah, exactly. So with the success of Apple Blossom, we decided to move back 2 weekends so that we became the third weekend in May. Also helped with the national race calendar as well. So yeah, this is our first year of doing that. We partnered with La Terraza so that, you know, we weren't shutting the city streets down more than one other time. So yeah, I'm very, very excited about the change. It brings a little sadness that we aren't on Apple Blossom weekend, but I think it's good. I think our beer garden and our partnership down here and our viewership will grow because we weren't competing with the same people and whatnot. So I think it's overall it's good for both events.
Especially for the bicyclists, I think they might get like a little bit more. They kind of get the spotlight to themselves very much this weekend.
Yeah, exactly, and it's a little easier to get around Wenatchee without Apple Blossom here too. So yeah, absolutely.
It's 5 big fat days for the professionals. For the amateurs, you don't have to work that hard. It starts Thursday. And it runs all the way through Monday. And if you want to see the best of the best bicyclists, first of all, the elites will be downtown on the downtown Criterion, but they have a full slate of races starting on Thursday.
Yeah.
For the elite bicyclists who are coming in from all over the country for the Tour de Bloom over the 5-day period, Thursday through Monday. Walk us through starting on Thursday and take us through Monday for the elites of the elites.
Gotcha. So Thursday is our Mission Ridge Hill Climb. So all riders, both elites and novice riders, amateurs, will be starting at Squilchuck State Park and climbing up to Mission Ridge. So that's about 4.25 miles, 1,800 feet of pure fun, pure climbing bliss. My estimations is the fastest rider will probably make that climb in about 18, 19 minutes. So that is, they'll be seeing their heart rates bounce off at 200, going around Graffiti Rock up there and everything else like that. So it's a great start. It's a quick, compact race, and really sets up the leadership and who's the top dog, who's going to be wearing our Tour de Bloom pink jersey going into Friday up at Waterville. So Friday we have the Still Properties Waterville Classic up there. And if you know anything about Waterville, not only is it beautiful up there this time of year with the wheat and being so green, but we know it's not if the wind is blowing, it's what direction the wind's going to be blowing. And with any farming community, all the roads are set on a north, south, east, west grid. And so we're going to take advantage of that. The racers will be hitting headwinds, they'll be hitting tailwinds, they'll be hitting side winds, and should be a lot of fun on there. We've made a few tweaks of the course so that we're only coming in through Waterville one time instead of each race coming in about 4 times. And we made the men's pro race a little tougher. They're doing about 110 miles on Friday, and the women's elite are doing about 80 miles on that. So it should be a lot of fun. We have Waterville High School Athletics coming out to support us on that. There are corner marshals and everything. And looking forward to, the forecast says the weather should be perfect up there with about 10 miles an hour of wind and whatnot. So yeah, looking forward. Waterville is always a great time. You know, it's really in the dynamics of everything. If Thursday's event, you have to be a good hill climber. Friday, it was really, you got to have a good team around you, because the tactics of the wind come in, and when you have a side wind blowing, what the riders will do is called an echelon, and one rider will come here, and the next rider will come alongside of them about halfway, and then the next rider, and the next rider, and the next rider, and they'll go all the way across the road. And the last guy in line, it's called getting guttered. So if you know you're hanging on and you're just riding that fog line and you're sitting there and the wind's just a little bit and you get off there in the gravel, it's called gutter, because if you lose about 5 or 7 feet of contact in there, you're toast. There's no way you can catch up with the way the slipstream and the aerostream happens in that. So it's pretty cool.
At what point do they are no longer teammates and I want to win this stage?
Well, most teams are sitting there and they'll know who their GC guy is, a general classification, who's their overall leader, and who that guy is they want to win. Normally, that GC guy is going to be sitting about mid-pack of that echelon. You know, you're going to have your workhorses, your domestiques up there at the front. Really, you know, they're taking the wind break and everything like that, and their job is to deliver the guy to within 10 kilometers of the finish, to where he can sit there, put a show on, and sprint for the victory. So
there's a reason why Ace and I are here at the Hedin Plaza to tape this interview, because courtesy of your friends Rookard Pools, I'm sure you've worked with these guys a million times in your other job. Mm-hmm. This is the downtown Criterion, and this is the party,
yes,
the downtown
absolutely,
party on Saturday night.
Yep, yeah. Danny Rookard stumbled across our race here about 4 or 5 years ago, and absolutely loved it. And he's like, hey, if anybody knows Danny Rookard, he gives and he gives and he gives, and he's like, hey, I want to sponsor this, and he'll be down there at the start-finish line, throwing some cash out. We call them preems. We throw money out there to get the racers excited and everything else like that. So after Friday's festivities, we roll down in here. It's a new date. It's a new time. We're racing all day long. First race, the novice women, and we did something creative here about 3 years ago. We saw a decline in the women's numbers in the Pacific Northwest in the categories. You start out the beginning, the novice is a Cat 5, and you go all the way down to Cat 1. Cat 1 is the elites, is the professionals. If you hold a Cat 1 license, you can race over in Europe, and you can eventually race on the Tour de France if you're that fast. So we reached out to the novice women like, hey, we're going to give you a free race entry into one of the best and biggest races in North America, and they've taken advantage of that. We've really seen over the 3 years the big swelling in the Cat 5 has now trickled down, and we're seeing that in the Cat 3s and the Cat 2s. So we like to think that we're doing a little bit better to support women's racing and everything like that. We still have more guys than women coming out, but our women's numbers are certainly growing. And the women's that are coming, and when you watch those women elite racers, we have a Virginia Blue 2028. I mean, they are a squad built for the 2028 Olympics. It's in their name. They come from Virginia. We have Aegis coming out of Texas. We have teams from all over the United States. We have 13 women's teams that are here that are just set to knock your socks off and win the pink jersey and raise their victory up. So yeah.
So basically, it's going to be all day Saturday,
yep.
zipping around downtown Wenatchee, that 2-block area.
Yep, 10:25, and then the pros are going to start about 6 o'clock. They will end at 8 o'clock. So it's a good opportunity. Will be just good twilight. Will be setting in. The weather looks perfect for that. A little cooler. The racers will love that. So make sure you pack a puffy or a hoodie with you when you come down. We've built this crit course. We have 2 huge beer gardens. We have one at the start-finish line, the Rookard Custom Pools beer garden, and then we also have a beer garden on the corner of Orondo and Wenatchee Avenue that is being hosted by Evergreen Mountain Bike Alliance. So that's a fundraiser for them. So kind of tying skinny tires in with fat tires. So proceeds of the beer sales there will go back to local trails in building and maintenance.
And these elite, both the males and the females, when they do the road race here in downtown, these guys are screaming. They are going fast. They make their own wind.
Yes, yeah.
You'd be amazed about how fast.
If you're in the beer garden, you look out, you got a hat on Bill size, it will flip your hat off. You got to turn your hat around. Yeah, we estimate that they're coming down off the cobbles on a rondo when they're coming down and making that corner onto the avenue there, and then it's a slight downhill to the finish. They're rocking around at approximately 40 to 45 miles an hour, and it's just, I mean, it is just ripping fast. It's amazing. When you see it, your jaw drops. I like to tell people it's like NASCAR on two wheels, because when they go around corners and they're 4 or 5 deep, and if you don't like it, if it doesn't get your blood pumping, you might want to check your pulse, because you might be dead, you know?
And then on Sunday, they're back to the road race. Again, it's a road race in Waterville on Friday, downtown here on Saturday, and then they're heading up to the Plain Lake Wenatchee area on Sunday.
Yeah, the Arlberg Sports Plain Road Race up there. We have a little tweak on that this year too, due to Mother Nature and all our storms in the fall, with closing down Tumwater Canyon. All the traffic had to go over the top of Beaver Hill. Beaver Hill got chewed up pretty good.
Yeah,
pavement's not good. And where we finished up there used to be nice smooth gravel. Now it's rip-rap, so we can't turn the bikes around there. So we're ending it on the Plain road, the road going into Plain there, right by the school and Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue. So what that does, it takes a stage that had a hilltop finish, right? You know, you would ride this flat, and then at the last you'd have about a mile kicker up to the top of Beaver Hill, and really made that a climbing stage. Now we're putting it down there at the school at Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue. So now it makes it a sprinter stage. And the finish coming in slight downhill. Once again, you're going to see those guys coming in at 40, 45 miles an hour and ripping around there. It should be a really, really fun place to watch the race. And I can't say enough about the Lake Wenatchee community up there. Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue comes out. It's a fundraiser for them. They're at all the corners. They have follow vehicles. They have medics everywhere. It's just a great feel-good place.
The amount of coordination and logistics here. I mean, you have to work with law enforcement. You have to work with Chelan and Douglas County for roads and pilot cars. You got to work with the City of Wenatchee, Public Works. Yeah. You have to have a good relationship with all kinds of different organizations, big, small, and otherwise, and they always seem to step up.
It's almost as tough as building a house.
And then for the, it all wraps up on Monday with, well, we miss Dr. Ed. We miss him a lot. But this is the elite.
Well, actually, Monday we have a time trial.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Monday we have a time trial, and we moved it this year out of Palisades. There were some concerns there with some neighbors out there and whatnot, and we prefer to not ruffle any feathers and whatnot. We want cyclists to have a name, be good in neighbors' eyes and whatnot. So we are going to start our time trial up at Withrow and go to Mansfield this year.
Okay.
So we're bringing in a new community at Mansfield. It's 16 miles. It's 500 feet of climbing. It's a point to point, so there's no turnaround or anything else like that. Time trials like watching paint dry. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. But it really if you're a strong time trialist, you have the opportunity to go start the Ed Fair stage on Tuesday in Pink. Interesting fact. The Emily, the lady that won our time trial last year, 2 weeks later went back east and she won the national championship. Same distance. It was we had a 30-kilometer course. The national time trial was 30 kilometers. She went out there and smoked everybody by a minute. And she said the race here at Bloom got her ready for that. So yeah, she was from Virginia Blue 2028 and whatnot.
Then the Ed Farah, the big one. That's a monster.
It is. It really is. Ed Farah is the one that started the Wenatchee Valley Velo Club. Ed Farah is the one that started the race, so that Tyler Farah had racing opportunities so that he can go on to his storied career and helped him win a stage in the Tour de France.
One of the best climbers.
Yes, absolutely.
Ever.
Tyler is one of the best sprinters ever, and I mean his legs are like. Anyways, he won that stage on 4th of July. I think that was back in 2008 or whatnot.
I remember watching it online while I was doing the morning show on the radio.
It was
like, damn, pay attention.
Yeah, it was awesome. But anyways, for the longest time, we wanted to do something to honor Ed after his passing. As you know, Ed was riding his bike to the hospital to perform surgeries. He was a very gifted orthopedic surgeon and got hit and was paralyzed from the chest down on that. And finally, about 10 years later, he succumbed to those injuries. So we wanted something that You know, Ed, if you knew Ed, I mean, he was a man's man, right?
Yes, he was.
He didn't want anything that wasn't going to, you know, I like to say this course has a little hair on it, and that's what Ed wanted. He wanted something that was tough and was going to challenge these riders. And I know when Ed's looking down, watching at that race, that he's giving us a big thumbs up that we're making his legacy where. So, but yeah, the Ed Farrow stage is it's daunting, it's grueling. It leaves Alcoa. It goes out around Three Lakes Golf Course. We have 3 sprint laps around there, and then we go over the Joe Miller climb. And anybody that has driven Joe Miller or ridden your bike of Joe Miller knows it's exhausting. Yeah. It's 4 miles from tip to tail. You've got some gradients there that are in the 15 to 16%. Some iconic shots, and when they get up there at the top, the 4 corners with the little church there, the riders' tongues are hanging out.
Yeah.
So the men will sit there.
It's too bad because it's beautiful, but they don't get to enjoy the view.
Yeah. The men will descend down Stemilt Hill for one lap. They'll be probably clicking along, hitting 60 miles an hour coming down, and then they'll go climb it again. And then the second time the men climb it, they take a left at the church. They go over through the Heights, which the Heights Road is just beautiful right now. Everything's in bloom, green up there. They'll descend down to Squilchuck. They'll take a left, and then they'll climb that last 6 miles all the way up and finish at Mission Ridge on Tuesday.
Race, we're running short on time. I got 3 important questions to ask you. Number one, for you amateurs out there who go, that sounds like fun, and I got a couple of bucks, and for the women, you don't even need that. Is it too late to say, let me do some of the amateur things?
Yeah, I would say start planning for next year.
Okay.
Yeah, we have all the race details on our website, www.tourdaybloom.com. Or if you're local and you want to get into cycling, reach out to me after the race, and I'll get you in tune with local riders that can do that. So.
Second question, as far as spectator friendly, obviously the downtown criterion all day Saturday is by far the best. Lots of parking all over the place, beer gardens, the
La Terraza
will be right next door,
yeah.
So you got food there. But if you want to see some of these elite riders, but not in the downtown criterion, as a spectator standpoint, where would you send them to?
Thursday, I think Graffiti Rock is a great place because you can up there at Mission Ridge, you can watch them, or up at the deck at Mission Ridge and watch them come across the finish. Waterville, once again, the finish line is going to be outstanding there, or because you can watch them come into town and take that big sweeper on Highway 2 and then walk down and watch the finish because it's a sprint finish. The crit goes without saying. Anywhere on the crit course is going to be outstanding. The corner 4 down there by the beer garden with the cobbles, we have had some riders lay it down there. We've had some mishaps at corner 1. So kind of pick your poison on that. At the Plain stage, anywhere along, I would say the finish at Plain would be fantastic. Time trial, boy, I mean, you really got to be hard up to come and watch that thing. But if you do come up to Mansfield, the Mansfield Tavern is where we're having the award ceremony afterwards. Yeah, if you come up and watch it, I'll buy you a beer afterwards.
There
at
you
Mansfield
go.
Tavern, and then and honestly, Tuesday out there at the Ed Farrow, up there at the little white church and watching them come over the top is fun. Graffiti Rock would be great. Or once again, Mission Ridge is opening up. They're going to have a full menu on Tuesday and sitting at that deck, and we're going to have the finish shoot right down there. You'll be able to watch them come in. The last 200 meters is on gravel. It's just outstanding, especially the views up there.
If you go to the website, Tour de Bloom, it's easy to find. Type it in your search bar and it pops right up. The maps, the courses, the schedule, it's all there, very easily done. Last question for you, Ace. The biking community has embraced this, and I'm not talking about the biking community in North Central Washington. I'm talking about the biking community. This has now become a destination for these people, these men and the women who take their bike, the stage 1 guys, the elites, the men and the women. This is now a must come to.
We are a national level race. There's only 2 others, Tour of Redlands in Redlands, California, and Tour of the Gila in New Mexico. And we are, by Racer Days, the largest stage race in North America, and that's right here in Wenatchee Valley. And that's a big thank you. Once again, this race wouldn't be where it's at right now without the help and support of Darcy and the Apple Blossom Festival giving it, letting us go there. And then, of course, the support of Chelan County and Douglas County and the DOT, to help us put this on and make it as successful. We do have Kraft as is our presenting sponsor, and Timberline Brewing is stepped up this year. They made a really good Tour de Bloom Mexican lager to go with the La Terraza Mexican Festival right there. So I'm pretty sure you've tasted a beer before. It's exceptionally good. Eric down there with his new facility has created a really good tasting beer that's light, and you enjoy many of them down here on Saturday.
For you don't have to get up at 5 a.m. and go to bed at 1 a.m.
Oh,
you get a much quieter day on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday. Hopefully I'll be at bed at home by 10 o'clock with my feet up, ready for the Arlberg plane race the next day.
Ace, I will see you downtown Saturday because I've never missed it. The Downtown Criterion is something you have to experience. You just have to. It's a blast.
It's like nothing else. It's the best Saturday night in Wenatchee.
It is. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Keep up the good work.
All right.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life Channel.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Time to close out the show with my live commercial read for Pool to Spa Services. As I throw that over my shoulder, I get to say this: upgrade relaxation with a Bullfrog Spa, featuring the exclusive Jetpack therapy system for personalized comfort in every seat. Visit Pool to Spa Services Wenatchee and design a spa just for you. Well, it was a pretty crazy day weather-wise yesterday, wasn't it? Well, that low that brought us the rain, almost 1/3 of an inch of rain, and those strong winds, gusts at 40 miles an hour. It's now in Montana, and Montana can have it, quite frankly, but there's still a lot of instability in the air, and there's going to be a series of short waves coming through and coming right back out again here in the Wenatchee Valley. So here's your forecast. And one thing you'll notice until we get to Monday, all of those temperatures, both your afternoon highs and your overnight lows, are below normal. We went 15 straight days with our afternoon high above normal. Now we're the other way around. Lots of sunshine today, a little breezy, especially very late in the day, right around sunset, right around 8:15, 8:30. The wind will pick up in intensity, but we'll see quite a bit of sunshine, at least here in the valley. It's currently raining up at Lake Wenatchee. We'll get up to about 66 degrees. The wind will pick up in intensity tonight, and some clouds will roll in as well. We'll get down to 44. Tomorrow morning, the winds will scour the clouds right on out of here. We'll have a beautiful morning on Friday, but it's going to be windy windy or breezy anyway on Friday with a high of about 63. Clouds return Friday night and then they clear out while you're sleeping. Overnight low around 42. Guess what? It's going to be windy on Friday night, and yeah, the windiest day in the forecast period looks to be Saturday. We'll have pretty consistent 20-mile-an-hour winds, especially on Saturday afternoon, and it is ushering in some colder air. As you can see, only 61 is all we're going to get to on Saturday, and then we get nice and warm as we head into next week. Provided the show isn't canceled, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.